comes after the director called last year's critically acclaimed film, I Wonder Woman, a step backwards for women. And Sydney as part of the HREF=HTTPS www.thatitsydney.com/James Cameron conversation Adam Spencer TARGET vivid idea and to launch his major new exhibition at the Australian National Maritime Museum, the HREF=HTTP www. Gov.org. It's an exhibition James Cameron TARGET James Cameron, challenging the deeper, he told news.com.au. It was a scene in Ridley Scott's Eileen, the first of the series which would later be directed by Cameron, that forced him to push back on the objectification of women in film. The scene in question refers to Sigourney Weaver's famous strip in one of the film's final moments. Weaver's character, Ellen Ripley, dropped her gear, according to Cameron, leaving the viewers watching Weaver simply in her panties. According to our TARGET=1981 interview with the actress, she was initially keen on the idea of her character being naked, because it would have been a nice contrast to the alien story unfolding before her character. You see the aliens in its birthday suit the entire film, so I thought it was a cop-out having me wear the underwear, and not stripping entirely, Weaver said. After receiving criticism for the strip after the movie's release, Weaver said it never occurred to her that people might think the strip exploitative, but having received the mail I would now think twice about taking off all my clothes in a movie. People have said, "Oh, how could you demean yourself by doing a striptease?" And I say, are you kidding? After 5 days of blood and guts, and fear, and sweat and urine, do you think Ripley wouldn't take off her clothes? But for Cameron, who took over the helm of the second film in the series, Eileen, the scene simply crossed the line. For me, that stepped over the line. When I took over, I said I think I can make a movie with a compelling female character who doesn't have to do that, so that's been my goal and my mission throughout, he told news.com.au. I've never really operated under studio pressure. I'm sure a lot of filmmakers do feel pressure to sexualize characters, but I was able to be successful enough, early enough, that they kind of left me alone aesthetically. I follow my own muse for what I think is right. My films continue to be successful, and they continue to not objectify women, so I think that speaks for itself. I made it my goal to make women interesting without making them sex objects, and I think I was pretty successful at doing that. Cameron was slammed last year for criticizing the Patty Jenkins blockbuster, I Wonder Woman, describing the movie as overly sexualized and misguided. I think Hollywood has always over-objectified women, he continued. I mean, she was Miss Israel, and she was wearing a kind of bustier costume that was very form-fitting, Cameron said, referring to IAHREF=HTTPS www.eguardian.com. Film 2017 Sep 27 James Cameron defends Wonder Woman criticism TARGET= Wonder Woman A star Gal Gadot. She's absolutely drop-dead gorgeous. To me, that's not breaking ground. They had Raquel Welch doing stuff like that in the 60s. Comments caused such outrage it led director Jenkins to issue a response on Twitter, claiming that HREF=HTTPS, Twitter. Patty Jenks as 9009176480154050062 $TFW_SITE=GUARDIAN and REF_SRC=TWSRC%5 ETFW and REF_URL=HTTPS%3A%2F%2FWWW Eguardian.com%2FFILM%2F 2017%2FSCP%2F27%2 James Cameron defends Wonder Woman criticism TARGET=. Though he is a great filmmaker, he is not a womaner. The robot takeover, AI apocalypse is coming. In a chilling prediction over the future of artificial intelligence, Cameron, who is currently working on the Terminator reboot, said that it was an extreme likelihood that artificial intelligence bots will exist and live in the world under human control. But it's this prediction for the planet that has Cameron more concerned about an AI apocalypse now. We are so dependent on technology right now that an AI could easily wipe us up just by breaking all the links in our control systems, the 63-year-old said. All you have to do is stop our information network and we'll be gnawing on each other's femurs in 2 weeks. Talking to the IAHREF equals https www.youtube.com watch v equals qz-07cv and q0target equals blank Hollywood Reporter last year, Cameron noted there won't be a dramatic shift in human-robot interaction and that suddenly we'll be living in a world where it has happened. Cameron said that in meetings with artificial intelligence scientists he found he was pretty skeptical of the idea that humans could control robots once we effectively made them human. Supplied video obtained Tuesday, March 20, 2018, of the announcement for Vivid Sydney's Ideas programs, which includes Academy Award-winning director James Cameron. The 10th anniversary Vivid Sydney runs from May 25 to June 16. AAP video supplied Vivid Sydney, no archiving, editorial use only. We probably can't control this, Cameron told news.com.au, noting the world was only 20 to 40 years away from the integration of robots in everyday life. It's an extreme likelihood that we will generate an artificial intelligence within the next 2 to 4 decades that is the equivalent to, or greater than us, and has a true sense of itself, Cameron said. The question is, what rights will we afford it? If we create this thing, we are responsible for it, we become its parents. Are we going to be responsible parents, or are we going to create a slave? If we create something that's as smart as us, and a complete being with a sense of identity and purpose and the ability to defend itself against non-existence, and we only make it do what we want it to do, that's called slavery, and I don't think it's going to like that. Jointly evolving with our technology right now, it's changing the way we interact with each other socially, it's changing the way we work, it's changing everything about our lives, it's this vast experiment, and there's no control group, there's no other planet Earth, where we have a safe harbor for humans in case this goes out of control, which knowing human nature and human greed I strongly suspect it will go out of control. The question is, are we smart enough to recognize the symptoms early enough and fix it, or are we just a throwaway stage in evolution that the machine intelligences of the distant future will look back on fondly? For more information on Vivid's Game Changers program, the HREF equals https www.vividsydney.com blog Vivid Sydney Ideas Meet Game Changers target equals blank click area.I. James Cameron, Challenging the Deep is a major new exhibition that traces Cameron's lifelong pursuit in deep ocean science. HREF equals http www.an.gov.org. It's an exhibition Salmin Guillaume's Cameron target equals blank opens May 29. For more information click area.I.